Let's be real, finding a good laptop for under 400 bucks feels like digging for treasure with a spoon. You're dodging sluggish processors, low-res screens, and the ever-dreaded 64 gig storage drives that fill up before you even know it. But here's the good news. You can get a solid Windows laptop for under 400 bucks, if you know where to look. Whether you're a student juggling assignments, a remote worker hopping between Zoom calls, or just someone who needs a no-fuss machine for browsing and basic tasks, this list is for you. I've dug through specs, real-world performance, and user reviews to bring you the best Windows laptops you can buy right now for under 400 bucks. Remember, the link to these products is given in the description below. Let's jump in. First up, we've got the Acer Aspire 3 Spin 14, and honestly, this one punches above its price tag. It's running on the Intel Core i3-N305, which might sound like a baby chip, but don't let the name fool you. It actually has a passmark score of 9843, which is really solid for a sub $400 machine. It handles everyday tasks like web browsing, Zoom calls, office work, and media playback without breaking a sweat. You're also getting 8GB of DDR5 RAM, which is kind of standard at this price point. It's soldered, so no upgrades later, but it's fast and enough for multitasking. Storage is a 120GB SSD. Not massive, but snappy and fine if you're storing most stuff in the cloud or an external drive. Now, the best part? It has a 14-inch Full HD touchscreen, and this laptop is actually convertible. Yup, this thing flips around and becomes a tablet. Perfect for note-taking, watching Netflix in tent mode, or swiping through presentations. Build quality is decent for the price, mostly plastic, but it doesn't feel cheap. Battery life is mid-range, around 6 to 8 hours depending on usage, and the screen is bright enough for indoor use. The laptop measures 0.74 inches at its thickest and weighs only 3.4 pounds. Basically, if you want a flexible 2-in-1 for under 400 bucks that doesn't feel like it's compromising, the Aspire 3 Spin 14 is a strong pick. Now, let's take a look at the Lenovo IdeaPad Flex 5i. Another 14-inch convertible laptop with a full HD Plus touchscreen. So you're still getting that handy 2-in-1 design like we saw with the Acer Aspire 3 Spin. The difference here is in the details. It runs on the Intel Core i3-1215U, which has a passmark score of 10,630, just a bit higher compared to the i3-N305 in the Acer. So, while the performance boost isn't dramatic, it does give you a slight edge when it comes to multitasking or loading heavier apps. The bigger win here is storage. You get a 256GB SSD, which is double the 128GB offered by the Aspire 3 Spin. That extra space can be a game changer if you prefer keeping files, photos, or apps directly on the device. RAM is still 8GB, but this time it's DDR4, not DDR5. While DDR5 is newer and faster on paper, the actual difference for casual use, browsing, streaming, office work, is hard to notice. So if you want a bit more storage and a small bump in CPU performance, the Flex 5i edges out the Acer in value, especially if you're storing more than just cloud docs. The catch here is that this is more expensive compared to the Acer Aspire's 3 Spin. Other than that, it measures 0.7 inches in thickness and weighs 3.31 pounds, which is typical for a laptop of this size. If you like having options, the ASUS Vivobook 14 might just be your perfect match. This one also features the Intel Core i3-1215U, the same chip we saw in the Lenovo Flex 5i, with a passmark score of 10,630. So you're getting similar solid performance for everyday tasks, light multitasking, and general productivity. Where the Vivobook 14 really stands out is in its configurability. You can find models with anywhere from 8GB to 24GB of DDR4 RAM, and SSD storage ranging from 256GB all the way up to a massive 2TB, all still under that $400 mark, which is kinda wild. That means if you do a lot of file-heavy work, like media, documents, or even light creative tasks, you can pick a higher storage model and skip the external drive. Or if you're the type who keeps 30 Chrome tabs open at once, springing for the 16GB or 24GB RAM variant might be totally worth it. Aside from that, it's a pretty standard setup. A 14-inch Full HD display, non-touch, and a clean design that doesn't scream budget laptop. The only real downside, it isn't a convertible like the previous two models. This is a classic clamshell. But if you want the most bang for your buck in terms of specs, the Vivobook 14 gives you serious flexibility without breaking the bank. Also, while it measures 0.7 inches at thickest, as far as the weight goes at 3.1 pounds, it is the lightest in this list. Next on this list is the Lenovo IdeaPad 1 Gen 7. A no-nonsense 15.6-inch laptop that brings a few thoughtful surprises for its price. It runs on the familiar Intel Core i3-1215U with a passmark score of 10,630, so performance is right in line with the last couple of laptops. You'll breeze through web browsing, streaming, office work, and everyday multitasking without much trouble. But here's where things get interesting. This laptop features a 15.6-inch Full HD screen. That larger display makes it much more comfortable for extended work sessions as compared to the 14-inch laptops we saw earlier. Of course, this comes at a cost of some mobility, as 15.6-inch laptops are slightly heavier. Additionally, this one features a touchscreen. That's a rare combo at this price point, and it adds a nice layer of flexibility, especially for scrolling, tapping through apps, or just navigating a bit more intuitively. Specs-wise, it comes with 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM and a 1TB SSD, which matches the higher-end configurations of the ASUS Vivobook 14 we saw earlier. It's more than enough for handling multiple tabs, storing local files, and running heavier apps without hitting a wall. It isn't a convertible, so you won't be flipping it into tablet mode like the Spin or the Flex. But if you're after a larger screen, solid internal specs, and the convenience of touch, the IdeaPad 1 Gen 7 is a well-rounded choice under $400. And finally, we have the Acer Aspire 3, the most affordable option on our list, and a great choice if you're looking for a capable laptop at the lowest possible price tag. At the heart of this budget machine is the AMD Ryzen 3 7320U processor, with a passmark score of 8685. While it is the lowest performing CPU on this list, it's only marginally weaker than the Intel i3 chips we've seen. And it's still a major step up from older budget processors like Intel Celeron, so you won't be dealing with sluggish performance. The 15.6-inch 1920 by 1080 Full HD screen is another standout feature, especially considering the price. Most laptops in this category only offer 1366 by 768 HD resolution. It has 8 gigs of RAM, which is DDR5, not DDR4, and a 128 gig SSD, which is standard for ultra-budget laptops. It may not have tons of storage, but the SSD will keep things running fast. Just keep in mind that you might need to use cloud storage or an external drive for larger files. While the Acer Aspire 3 doesn't have the high-end specs of some other models, it offers great value for anyone looking for a solid, affordable laptop that can handle the basics. The only downside is that at 3.92 pounds it is the heaviest in this list, but honestly not nearly heavy enough to be a burden. And that wraps up our list of the best laptops under $400. Whether you're after a convertible 2-in-1, a bigger screen, or just the best performance for the price, there's something for everyone here. Check the description below for links to all these models so you can compare prices and find the one that's right for you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tech reviews and recommendations. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.